Almost 200,000 infected worldwide and 8,000 deaths. As of recording, the Philippines has 202 confirmed cases and 17 deaths. This has led governments around the world to lock down entire countries and severely restrict the movement of people. But you don't need me to tell you the facts. It's all over the news and the World Wide Web. You know it like the back of your hopefully well-washed hand. But do you know how it is affecting your mental health? I'm Luffy, and this is episode 1 of the Keep Going podcast, Holding Up and Holding On. Hello everyone! Yes, my podcast na po ang Keep Going Baguio. Well, like many groups and organizations, we experienced a lot of setbacks in the past few weeks, and we have had to cancel projects and events that we've worked really hard on. But we want to continue to reach out to people, even if it's only through a podcast or a virtual meetup for now. So today, let's talk about what we can do to safeguard our mental health during the COVID-19 crisis and enhance community quarantine. Nagtanong kami sa ilang mga tao kung kumusta na ba sila ngayon and what they are doing to cope. And to get the perspective of a mental health professional, kinausap din namin si Ms. Shinx Hobrabeno na isang psychologist. So, let's get to it. Ms. Monin tries to be discerning regarding news and information about the virus, and although stuck at home, helps the community, particularly the medical frontliners, through her group Rehabilitation Action for Baguio.
My name is Monin Navarro. These are indeed difficult times, and it's really up to us to deal with the situation as best we can. Personally, I stay home and make use of this time to read, watch movies, chat with friends online. I'm retired and used to staying home anyway, and aside from not being able to go out on a whim, I'm doing fine, thank you. I plan to cooperate fully with our local government and medical staff as far as what they say we can and cannot do. I read as much as I can about the virus from reliable sources because there are so many fake news about it. I belong to a group called Rehabilitation Action for Baguio, and we try to help in whatever way we can our fellow residents of Baguio and by donating food to our frontliners. Thank you.
Jesse is a local musician, singer, and youth leader, and he tells us that while it's tough, he tries to stay positive and productive and views the situation as a learning opportunity.
How is the situation affecting your mental health? It is challenging my mental health because there has been a lot of negativity, especially from social media, and the news causes anxiety. And so I'm trying to stay positive and learn from what is happening. What are you doing, or what action do you plan to do in order to cope? I'm trying to be productive with what I'm doing, with my unfinished tasks connected to school and work, especially that we have this at home policy. I'm also planning to read books and watch movies where I can learn more things from it. Exercise is also important for mental health. Finally, as a Christian, prayer is essential because it's how I communicate to the author and creator of this world, and through him, nothing is impossible.
Khristine sees a silver lining in the community quarantine and takes this time to bond with family, read books, and even sign up for an online course.
Hi everyone, my name is Khristine Molitas and I'm here to share some of my thoughts with you today. So right now, I'm actually feeling happy and grateful. And I think that is because I've been staying at home for the longest time possible because of this quarantine. So I've been spending a lot of time with my family, and it's been a great time for me to get to know them better and to reconnect with myself. So the question is, what have I been doing to cope with the situation that we're in right now? First of all, I'm working from home. So even though I'm here, I'm putting in work. So that's pretty much keeping me busy. But aside from work, I've been doing other things too in order to keep my mind off these bad things around us. So first of all, I've been reading a lot of books, and it really helps me take my mind off things because it really works up my imagination, which is a great thing. And I also signed up for this online course. It's called Humanitarian Response to Disaster and Crisis. So it challenges me to think and also to come up with opinions and ideas and to actually discuss with some of my classmates online. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been homeschooling my son for about 2 to 3 hours a day. So it's great. You know, we get to fight a lot, but it's also a good time for the two of us to bond. The last thing that I do is I practice gratefulness. So when I wake up in the morning, I think about the 3 things that I'm grateful for and just let it stick in my head the whole day. So that's how I've been surviving, and I hope that everyone can do the same thing.
Leslie is a co-convener of Keep Going Baguio, and for her, it's important to take things step by step and have a support system during these challenging times.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I previously worked as gender and development practitioner, and now I am a mental health advocate. I love studying and has graduated many courses. I'm like a jack of all trades, but sadly, a master of none. When asked how am I coping up these trying times, I say I take things one at a time, a step-by-step process. I worry a lot and I am anxious most of the time. I have a lot of ideas and has to have an outlet. Coping for me is talking with my number one support group, which is my family. Although I'm quiet around them, I'm talkative. I can't afford not to have a good laugh over breakfast, lunch, or dinner. The thought of doing things for others also helps me focus. To be able to reach out to others keeps me going. These trying times, I do have Alexa to talk to in case I get bored. Also, I love dancing and listening to music. And oh my, dancing has been great and good for me. It has been a breather. I just wish that I can have that energy to do more good stuff. Keeps me hoping that this too shall pass.
Nario is a working law student who is adjusting to doing things online, and he copes by keeping in touch with his family and praying.
I am a student and a worker. So as a student, there is class suspension, so we cannot meet at school. We cannot meet our professors. However, our instructors give us assignments through online, specifically list of cases to be digested or list of topics to be read. And on a set day or on due date, we are to submit our output via online as well. As a worker, there is also work suspension, so we cannot go and report to work. However, we have our group chat or in the Viber or in Messenger, and this is where we get in touch with our coworkers. Also, this is where updates coming from the central office are being posted so that we will be continuously informed regarding our work. So basically, everything is done online at work and at school. I do a lot of things just to kill my boredom, specifically. I watch movies, I read my books, do my homeworks or my assignments, and I call my friends, my relatives, my family members who are in the provinces. I also seldom meet my friends who live nearby, and also I pray. I pray that this pandemic will end soon and everything will go back to normal.
Hi everyone, we're here today with Shinx Hombre Bueno. She is a registered psychologist and a mental health advocate. And pag-uusapan namin ngayon about the current crisis. So this was already called a pandemic by the WHO. And in particular, how it relates to our mental health. Thank you so much for being here today, Shinx. And kamusta ka naman? How are you holding up?
Yeah, I'm good, though under PUM ako because I came from Manila last Thursday night. So doctors required me to stay at home for quarantine.
Okay. So you're on quarantine for 14 days?
Yeah, but no signs and symptoms. Hopefully none.
Oh yeah, so it's looking good so far. All right. So, but before we dive into our topic for today, I'd like to get to know you a bit more and maybe our listeners also. So, can you tell us a little something about yourself?
Okay, so I can say that I am an Igorota, Ilocana, and Caviteña. But basically, I was born abroad. So I was born in Israel, but residing here in Baguio. And for my educational background, I graduated in the University of the Cordilleras for my bachelor and master's degree. And presently, a registered psychologist. In terms of my hobbies, I love music. I sing and play different instruments, musical instruments, but my first love is guitar. And presently, I'm working as a consultant, a part-time psychologist in a psychological clinic in Manila, in Quezon City. And also catering to different clients here in Baguio. So freelance ko naman yan. I also do counseling and psychotherapy, give talks with regards to mental health, and coordinates with psychiatrists here in Baguio for the client's medication. And presently, I want to connect to different groups here in Baguio like NGOs, online groups, and different churches to give help and service in any way that I can. So that's my personal background.
Okay, so parang very busy ka. Madami kang ginagawa in relation to your job and your advocacy. So as I understand, like you divide your time between Baguio and Manila, ganun ba yun, before the community quarantine?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and very interesting that you play the guitar. So like what kind of music do you play on the guitar?
Any music, any genre, but at present, I'm a Christian, so I play different Christian songs.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Noon nagigitara din ako, pero matagal na panahon na. So thanks for that. And so let's now talk about the main topic, why we're talking right now. So of course, it's the COVID-19 crisis. It has spread all over the world. And grabe yung bombardment of media and information na nakikita natin ngayon. So for me, speaking on a personal note, like I think I've seen a lot of weird and bad things in my life, but parang unprecedented, or I've never felt like this before na parang it's a mix of uncertainty, confusion, maybe even a bit of like claustrophobia. Yun ba yun? Pag nakakulong ka lang sa bahay. Parang iniisip namin na, we're not alone in feeling like this, and perhaps a lot of people here in the country and around the world feel like that. So let me ask you, like as a psychologist, how is this current situation affecting people's mental health?
Well, in this present situation that we have, our physical health is being threatened. So, yun yung parang fear natin ngayon, yung physical health. But looking deeper, our mental or psychological health is also being affected. Nga lang, parang di kita ng tao sa present na situation natin, di ba? Kasi nakafocus lahat sa physical needs. And in that psychological aspect, we receive different informations. And most of them are making us anxious. Parang unnoticedly, we're anxious, thus leading us to be in panic. Our minds are preoccupied by this news. Yung nga lang, may fake at saka true. We need to discern which is the fake and the true one. Preoccupied by what we should do. Yan, to. What to buy. Anong bibiling ko pagkain? Anong kailangan sa bahay?
Panic buying
sa work, yung trabaho, yung school, paano yung mga requirements, kung teacher ka din, yung business. Yan. Transportation, paano ko pupunta kung may medical check-up ako na scheduled. So those are the things. And also finances. So we're occupied by these different things. Thus, making our mind, medyo nag-overthink na minsan, making us feel distressed and anxious. And restless na din. Kaka-scroll natin on social media. And it is affecting our mental health. The stressors is more than what we can usually have. Merong mga iba, pero this is different. So meron tayong maximum tolerance sa stress. So medyo naapektuhan na tayo in terms of that. So parang fear leading to anxiety na. Then hopefully not naman traumatic sa mga mga mamamayan.
So so alam natin na nakafocus ngayon lahat sa physical health, but it's also important to address the mental health. In this COVID-19 pandemic, so they're saying na yung mga at risk is yung like elderly, 60 years old and above, those with pre-existing conditions. Sa mental health naman, sino kaya yung mga at the greatest risk of developing mental problems, anxiety in the face of this crisis? Meron ba?
Looking at it, syempre at risk ang lahat ng tao. Everyone is susceptible and are at risk of developing mental health problems. However, those who have existing conditions like anxiety disorders or anxiety tendencies, OCD, and people who are struggling in silence have greater risk to be triggered than the common people. Though, because of this crisis that we have, meron ding maximum threshold in terms of stress yung mga tao. And even though we're okay, we're feeling good, we might also develop these mental health problems.
So everyone is could be affected by this, basically. All right. And I've heard of this thing called psychological hygiene. Kasi we always hear about yung personal hygiene na maghuhugas ng kamay. Ang daming memes na kung anong song ang kakantahin mo para matagal ka maghugas ng kamay at mapuksa yung virus. Okay, so what about psychological hygiene? What is that? And how do we practice it?
So psychological hygiene. So as we wash our hands, sanitize our places, taking care of our physical health, we also suggest for us na mental health professionals to do psychological hygiene. So kailangan din to sa ating mental health. It's okay naman and normal to feel anxious because stressing naman, di ba? And nakaka-scare yung situation natin. But we also need to give attention sa yung importance ng psychological state. So what is psychological hygiene ba? So it is doing the things that we regularly do to maintain a good mental health. So ano ba yung mga ginagawa natin in our daily lives? Baka naman because of this crisis that we have, because of scrolling to the social media, watching the news, medyo nalilimutan na natin yung basic. So we do the things that we usually do. Kumakain ba tayo ng 3 times a day at least? Yan. So, naiisip ba nating magluto on time? So, those are the things. So, baka nakakalimutan natin. So, what we could do to address naman din yung psychological hygiene, yan. Magkaroon tayo ng mindfulness. Yan. Take a moment to live in the present. Nasaan ka ngayon? Anong oras na ba ngayon? Yung mga ganong bagay. Nag-exercise pa ba? Yan. Siyempre, it can also boost our physical health but also the hormones that we have. Yan. Sleep. Nakakatulog pa ba tayo or puro na lang nood tsaka social media? Yan. Good balanced diet. Do we do that? May gulay pa ba o puro na lang take out din? Do we have moment to play? Not only on gadget. So, dahil stay at home ang most of us, we can play Jenga, Uno cards, Scrabble, yung mga ganong bagay. And do your hobbies. Like me, I play the guitar and ukulele lately. So, there. And then, yun, in terms of other people's psychological hygiene, we can also be the support system of those people. Nangamusta tayo, yung mga ganyan, continue yung social interaction. And if you're a spiritual person, you can do your spiritual practices like meditation or prayer. So those are the basic things in terms of psychological hygiene.
Mhm. Parang ano din siya, no? Parang routine din siya, something that you do, you make a habit of,
Yes.
as in hand washing, which should be a habit. So we should practice yung mga good psychological hygiene. Okay, so what about like you said yung sa exercise?
Yes.
So maybe some people would say, nasa bahay lang sila ganon. Ano kayang exercise ang maganda if they're at home? Indoor mga yoga, ganon, or
yoga. O kaya mga stationary na exercises, if you have dumbbells, kung wala daw dumbbell, pwede daw lata ng sardinas, ganyan.
Be creative, ganon.
Sit-ups, curl-ups, do things. Or, be creative. Or jogging stationary, kahit walang treadmill at home. Mga ganon.
Right. Okay. So dito nalalabas yung pagka-resourceful. So important to have that hygiene. And specifically for some groups of people, so for example, for parents, kasi ang dami nilang inaalala yung anak nila, maybe they're elderly parents. So what can you suggest in terms specifically for parents and their kids, how they can take care of their mental health during this time?
So, for example, for parents in this time that we have, be updated, but keep calm naman. You don't want to cause panic to your kids. So there, dapat as a parent also, maging calm. Yan.
Right.
Initiate indoor family activities. Yan. Kunyari, as parents, so play with kids or read mga books with your kids para nagawa, hindi lang nagpapanik.
Okay.
And also, continue doing your household chores. Yan. Continue naman yon, involve children, kung teenager sila at kaya able sila to clean the house, something like that. Yan. Somehow, distraction siya para sa mind natin, but also nagiging productive yung araw natin. And for also the parents, pag yung mga kids po may sinasabi or silent sila na something unusual, yan, try to talk to them. Try to know what are they feeling and acknowledge the kids' feeling. Kunyari, they say that they are scared. So, acknowledge it na it's okay to be scared, but everything will be okay. Something to give hope. Maging okay din yung feelings ng mga bata.
So yeah, may nakita nga ako na pinost sa social media din na para siyang info on coronavirus. But for kids could also, of course, feel anxious. Hindi nila naintindihan what's going on. Why is their school shutting down? So I think they are more anxious than we know. That's a good resource na you can explain the situation through simple terms and in a way that they would understand it and not fear yung mga things na naririnig nila so much. Okay, so that's for the parents and kids. And how about our first responders? So sila yung mga nasa line of fire, kumbaga, sa war na ito on coronavirus. So yung mga ating medical professionals who are there right now testing and looking after these PUIs and confirmed cases. Paano naman kaya yung mental health nila? Especially they're overworked, I believe. So how can they also safeguard their mental health?
Okay, so sa mga first responders natin, yung mga emergency staff, our doctors, firemen, policemen, volunteers, and the like, yan. Siyempre, they're in service. Yan. As we serve the people, ito naman, please don't forget naman yung self-care din natin. Yan. So, basically, we need to address the physical need. Kahit in service, kung maaari yun, makakain sila. I know one NGO that's working out here in Baguio to feed our health professionals sa BGH, SLU, yung mga yan. So, basically, yan, they need to eat at least 3 times a day if possible. Yan. Get enough sleep kung kaya din nila. Pero kung scarce yung manpower natin in terms of these people, yan. Kung kaya din naman nilang mag-power nap, yan, parang salitan siguro yung mga workers, ito muna isa para makapag-rest din yung isa. Yan. Kailangan din yung physical na i-address yung physical needs. And in terms of their feelings also, syempre, they might also feel scared or anxious, tired, yan, because of their restless service to the humanity. So, okay lang na sabi nilang pagod sila, yan. It's okay. Kung may, yung mga superiors naman din, yan, they can talk to their superiors if I can have a break or moment to breathe in some air from the outside of the hospital, yung mga ganyan. And also for the support system, social support system, talk to your coworkers yan, about your emotion. It's also healthy to talk about your emotions. Siyempre, nakaka-stress din na continuous yung service. We suggest na kahit paano maging mindful na maging calm as we attend to the people's need, not only for ourselves but also to the emotional side of our patients. So yun naman po sa mga staffs natin. There.
So grabing saludo tayo sa kanila, di ba? Going above and beyond the call of duty. And shout out to my sister. She's a frontliner at BGH. And how about, na-curious din ako kasi at this time, very visible ang ating mga leaders. So ang ating community leaders from here in our barangay all the way up to our mayors. So ano naman yung effect kaya sa kanila nito sa mental health nila? Is it a heavier load on them? They are in charge of like so many people. In the case of the leaders, ano kayang mga pwede ding magawa nila about their mental health?
Yeah, to our leaders naman, sa mga community leaders, mga barangay din, those, our mayor, yan. Yun pa rin, still address natin yung physical needs. Kailangan din natin ng rest, yan. In terms of when they will decide on something, tapos stress sila, we suggest then that they have moment of silence or quiet time before deciding. Consider din yung humanity. Yan. Be calm. Yun, be calm din. And in terms of their psychological health din, kung they wanted to have some rest, yan, kung may headache na, it means na medyo na-stretch out na rin yung paggamit ng kanilang brain cells. And have some moment of silence or quiet time or rest, mga ganyang bagay. And also, syempre they're considering yung mga population ng barangay, ng ano, and hindi naman nila usually ginagawa yung ganon. I hope that they could do the things that they love o yung mga coping skills nila para hindi naman din sila ma-overwhelmed sa dami rin ng task nila. So there.
Okay. So yeah, because after all, they are still humans, although they are in positions of power, but they should not forget to also take care of themselves. Okay, so it's often said that a crisis can bring out the best in us, or it can bring out the worst in us. So, Shinx, in your opinion, paano ba ang ihip ng hangin ngayon?
I have heard some news na yung mga kumakalat, yung mga fake news. So, somehow parang nagiging, it is causing panic to people. But still, for me, I believe in the goodness of people, that people are innately good. Marami akong nakita in social media din, in news, that people are helping each other. And yun nga, may nag-feed sa mga doctors natin, mga nurses, kung di sila makalabas, may mga NGO like that. Meron ding mga gumagawa ng good sa ibang tao, instead of selling their mask, nagbibigay sila. So for me, it's also showing the goodness of people in this situation and crisis that we have. So I believe in the goodness. Yun naman sa akin.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. And siguro as a final question, ano ba ang message mo for people during these trying times?
For me, yun, again, it's okay to feel stressed, anxious, or scared, but our self-care is needed talaga rin yan. Para sa ating socio-emotional status, connect to people. Yan. Email them, have phone calls, or message them on Facebook. Kailangan natin ng social contact din. Do things that you love. Yan, develop yung mga skills na gusto mong i-develop. Ito yung moment. You have lots of time habang naka-quarantine ang community natin. And yun, lessen naman din yung social media kung ito yung nagpapa-anxious sa atin. Yan, may tawag tayong term din, digital detoxification. So we lessen it. And if you feel like na-worse na yung feelings mo, yan, seek help. May mga social support group online kung hindi tayo makapunta physically. Yan. We can say na ito yung nafe-feel ko, ano pwede kong gawin, yung mga ganyan. And for our spiritual aspect then, pray, have devotion, or read what is the book that you are reading na nakakatulong para ma-inspire at motivate ka. So yun naman sa akin.
Okay, thank you so much. So yes, about yung sa social media na na-mention mo, para siyang double-edged sword, because on the one hand, you have yung mga fake news, mga toxic na mga trolls, ganon. But on the other, we can use that to, right now, especially to communicate with each other. Like what we're doing now, we're having this interview online through Zoom. So we can use it actually to connect, and yung tinatawag nila na social solidarity.
Yep.
So thank you so much, Shinx, for sharing your thoughts and for giving us this advice regarding mental health. And I think it's really helpful for people to know that. Thank you for sharing your time, and we'll talk to you again next time. This too shall pass. And when all of this is over, what matters is how we treated each other, how we looked out for each other, and how we were our brother's keeper. What matters is how we helped those in need and protected the vulnerable, how we checked up on our friends or posted a funny meme to lighten the mood. When all of this is over, we'll remember how scared we were for ourselves and our loved ones. But what matters is how we looked deep within ourselves and found courage. We at Keep Going want to tell you that you are not alone. In these trying times, we stand with you. Maybe not hand in hand, and maybe around 1 to 2 meters apart, because But seriously, we are one with you in calling for social solidarity and expressing our gratitude to the frontliners, and in saying, hope springs eternal. Thank you for listening, and let's all keep going.